Good afternoon, all WNY radio listeners. Welcome in to another edition of Cory Comments On. I'm your host, Cory McKnight. You can join me every Friday at 2 and 5 p.m. right here for the show, allwnyradio.com. Get the app for your smartphone in the Google Play Store, All WNY News and Radio, and we have an iOS app now. We didn't forget about you, Apple people. We're here for you. Thanks for being with me here today on Friday, September 21st, 2018. We are on the eve of the fall equinox here. It's going to be autumn now, if you can believe it. Where did the summer go? Here in Western New York, it's actually hot today, though. So summer's still hanging around. I'm sure we're going to have a little bit of sunshine before the terrible gray clouds roll in for the rest of our lives. But we're going to talk about fall a little bit more in a second. Because today is probably the most fitting national day that I've ever done on the show. Over a year now doing these things. Maybe a year and a half or something. Today, I can't believe I haven't had this before. Today is National New York Day. Would you believe it? National New York Day. This is all Western New York radio. Western New York is part of New York, right? Most people probably don't even realize that or think so, but New York City, upstate New York, Western New York, it's time to celebrate. It's our day. And that's what I'm going to do, is celebrate. I'm usually talking about things that I hate, things that bug me, things that annoy me, like old people driving like we did last week, or, I don't know, I've bitched about everything from here to China, but today we're going to celebrate. We're in a celebratory mood. It's Friday, right? Let's get hyped on New York. And I'm going to give you a few reasons why New York kicks ass. Because I could do like a 40-minute show on why New York sucks and talk about snow and taxes and construction and Andrew Cuomo, lots of other shit. Trump Tower, whatever, fucking New York City being really favored over Western New York. We could bitch about that all day long. We're going to leave that on the cutting room floor today and be positive, because it's a nice day heading into fall. And I'm going to give you my top 5 reasons here why New York kicks ass. And not just why I like it, why it kicks ass, literally. Number 1 for me is what I was just talking about in the intro here, the seasons. We get all 4 seasons in glorious HD quality. We get to experience the ups and downs of all of them. Hot summer days. We had more days over 90 degrees here in upstate New York than I can remember in a long time here this summer. And we have the cold winters, obviously. More freaking inches of snow than I can ever remember. It seems like it's more every year for the snow. We get the rain, the wind, everything in between, the beautiful fall colors that are on the way right now. And in the spring is amazing, too. I can't decide which one I like the best, but I think it might be the fall, actually. So this is my time of year right here. I can get my Uggs and sweatpants on and pumpkin spice coffee, or what is it, latte? What do these basic bitches get at the Starbucks drive-thru? And I can enjoy the fall season, but you can, too, even if you're not a basic bitch. Go and walk a trail anywhere in the entirety of New York, and it's beautiful anywhere. I swear it. Or just take a drive. Check out the foliage. Got lots of foliage to offer. Love the seasons, all 4 of them. Number 2 on my list here is the cuisine. Food. Can't live without it. Can't go a show without talking about it. It's usually like a food-themed day. It's New York Day, so anything New York food-themed, it just kicks ass. We're so lucky. But, like, show me something better than buffalo wings, New York-style pizza, particularly upstate-style pizza, where it's, because there's the New York kind that's, like, real thin. They're known for that. It's good. Don't get me wrong. But the upstate New York kind of pizza is really slept on. It's so good. Garbage plates. I could go on and on here with, like, New York-specific, hot dogs, man. Coney Island, whatever. But the cuisine just kicks ass. It's so good. You get the best of everything. Like, they're eating all that stuff in other places around the United States and wishing they were in New York eating it. It's not authentic, right? Cuisine is amazing. Number 3, there is insanely rich history in New York. And I'm proud of it. I'm proud to be from New York. Fucking Ellis Island, man. Didn't everybody come through that shit at one point or something? Oh, that's what they taught us in school. Immigration, but it's so rich in history, not only for things like that, but the amount of incredible, like, America-changing people that have come out of New York. Susan B. Anthony, Frederick Douglass. There's so many. It was a key place in the Underground Railroad for Harriet Tubman, for slaves escaping to Canada. New York, safe haven. Come on in, we'll take you. You're, what is it? You're sick, you're tired, you're poor, you're whatever. We'll take you. And I think that's amazing. At least the sentiment of it when it began. And now it doesn't quite mean the same, I don't think, anymore. But we're celebrating New York, so insane history. Native American reservations, unbelievable Native American culture in New York. And get to know it, study it. It's really interesting. Probably can't pronounce a lot of the town names in upstate New York, even in New York City maybe even, because of the rich Native American history. They have some tricky words in their the vocabulary there, the Native Americans. But other than the insane history, going right with that, number 4 is the diversity of the population. And I'm really glad that we have, it's literally the melting pot. And we have every culture represented. We're not middle America, not to pick on middle America really, but I don't really think you would get the sense of diversity you would get being in New York if you were in Oklahoma or something, let's say. Just everybody is represented, and that's a beautiful thing. New York City in particular has whatever you could ever want, whether you're Asian, Native American, Middle Eastern, Italian, I could go on and on and on. Immigrants from anywhere, New Yorkers who are of immigrant heritage, which is everybody, really, you're represented, and I think that's cool. And we could do better to represent everybody, and we won't get into that, but I love the diversity of New York. And number 5, I love the attitude of New York. There's other places that might have attitude, maybe Boston or, I don't know, Dallas or something, that everything's bigger. We're big and great. New York, you can't beat the New York state of mind, to me. The New York attitude, the way we conduct business, the way that we live our lives by the blue collar working philosophy, and you can see all types of life just everywhere, all over New York. Farmers to industrial workers to artists, and it's incredible the diversity and the attitude and the culture that New York represents. There's a reason that no other state has an I Heart blank campaign. I love New York. It's the best. It's the greatest. The attitude. On top of the world. Top of the list. King of the hill. Top of the heap. New York, New York. You should know that. New York kicks ass. And I wanted to celebrate it quickly on the show today. Instead of being a negative, grumpy dick about how much the Bills suck or, come up with anything, that it's going to snow soon. And I'm going to cry when it starts snowing. But it's okay, because the sun will come back out again, because we have all 4 seasons, and it'll be all right. What do you love about New York the most? And if you're not from New York, if you're listening from elsewhere, have you visited? Would you like to visit? How are you going to celebrate New York today? What do you like the most about it? And hit me up on Twitter, at @LWNYCory, if you got any suggestions on how I should celebrate New York Day. I got a couple things in mind. I might have make a Manhattan. That's a drink, right? A Manhattan? What is that? Manhattan Long Island iced tea. There we go. I'll have a Long Island iced tea. And eat buffalo wings and do all kinds of New York stuff. Root for the Mets. And you might not want to do that. But anyway, send me up on Twitter at @LWNYCory if you want to talk about New York, our lovely favorite thing in the entire world. And I'll be back with you guys next week on Friday with another interesting show, I'm sure. Thank you for listening today. Everybody take care. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Cory McKnight signing off. New York. See ya.